So what's going on, everybody? Welcome. On today's show, we are talking Stockx, who has just provided a interesting report which provides, I guess you could say, some concerning details for one of sneakers' biggest players. Plus, we got a Yeezy update as they're gearing up for a major event this weekend, which we're all hoping is going to be full of surprises. Plus, Nike has just revealed their latest collaborators, which they're going to be partnering up a lot come 2025. So stay tuned. To kick things off, let's go ahead and catch up on the latest sneaker releases, which this morning we saw Nike drop the Clogposite, which, as you guys see here, this is kind of like a modern take on the Foamposite, which has kind of been buzzing a lot lately with the upcoming DMV release. Now, as far as the Clogposite, this is a model which Nike describes you can rock before you hit the court and after you hit the court. And as far as this release, we did see these hit the sneakers app 10 a.m. Eastern. Now, I did kind of slightly check in on this release like about 30 minutes after the drop. I was actually shocked to see that apparently these were sold out, but after checking some other retailers online, it looks like these were actually widely accessible. So it looks like Nike, they're up to their same old games with the fake sellout, and I feel like a much more effective rollout for this kind of a model like this, I would think maybe a little bit of like online kind of viral marketing, kind of similar to what they did with the big red boots. I think if Nike would have maybe gifted these out to a few different influencers or something like that in an attempt to get like a viral online marketing campaign, I think that would have been a much more effective rollout, because these joints right here are just so ugly that they're kind of good, and I think low-key Nike could have maybe did a little more with this release, but it looks like they're just continuing the limited availability rollout, so it is what it is. Now, from Adidas, they actually hit us with a Jamaican Federation pack, which including clothing as well as some footwear options. So we saw two new colorways of some of their popular retro models. So we have the Gazelle as well as a variation of the SL72. So it looks like Adidas is definitely leaning a lot into their popular retro bag. So two new nice colorways, retailing at $110 and $100 respectively. Now, coming up this weekend, we got a big Jordan retro release in the Retro 4 White Thunder. Now, as far as this release, we did actually see a shock drop go down this morning for our bros over in the EU, UK. Now, as you guys know, the interest or the demand for Jordans definitely isn't what it is like over here in the States. So as far as this shock drop, it looks like some of the bigger sizes did sell out, but you have just about all of your smaller sizes sitting currently. So is this a sign of what to expect for this weekend's drop here in the US? I would say quite possibly so, just because it really feels like the Jordan retros like catalog has kind of fallen off as of lately. Well, I wouldn't say fallen off, but definitely as popular as it once was. And we're going to get into some data later that kind of backs that up. Now, also speaking of Jordan brand, we have these Ama Mania 3s, which we got to touch on once again, because yesterday we actually saw exclusive access go out. Now, as far as this release, as you guys know, over the weekend we got results for the raffle, which previously went live. Then they actually had a big drop via Ama Mania's website. So if you guys wanted these, you definitely could have grabbed them. But then again, we did also see Nike drop these with exclusive access via the sneakers app, where reportedly there was a rumor floating around that there was roughly around 34,000 pairs to go around. Now, not everybody did get exclusive access, but once again, another chance to be able to grab these. Now, the reason people are kind of upset about this is because they didn't actually make any announcement of a sneakers app drop. And by dropping these on Ama Mania, people that actually bought those through that website are going to be taxed a little bit more on the shipping. Plus, they got to wait for the pairs to come out, as when you drop via sneakers, you don't have to worry about the shipping fees. On top of that, Nike has some really fast shipping, sometimes like as fast as a day or two shipping. So people are a little upset that they didn't announce prior that they would be dropping via the sneakers app. Maybe some people would have passed up on the Ama Mania drop in an attempt to save a little money on the shipping and to get their pair a little bit faster. So a little people are kind of upset about that Ama Mania 3 drop, but again, it is what it is. Now, lastly, it looks like Bricks and Woods has given us a teaser of their next upcoming New Balance collaboration. Now, if you're wondering why this collab is kind of hype or whatever, it's because last year Bricks and Woods definitely dropped one of the most underrated New Balance collaborations with their 9060 model. It's kind of weird to see how New Balance isn't really collabing so much on the 9060 anymore, but I guess that model is just so popular it kind of sells itself. So here is a first look at the teaser, which they're just giving us a little glimpse of the box right here, which is cool, but I would have to say, as a fair warning, with Bricks and Woods like giving us these crazy teasers like this, I feel like it's only setting our expectations. It's only raising the bar, and I don't know if they can actually live up to the hype that they are, building up here with this drop. But regardless, they have a few New Balance collabs in store, and I'm definitely excited to see what these joints are looking like and which models they're actually going to be using. So stay tuned for more details on that. All right, and for a Yeezy update, unfortunately, we got to start things off with some bad news, as it looks like Saturday's listening event, which was scheduled for the 24th in Taiwan, has actually been canceled. Now, while the details of why it's been canceled are currently unknown, apparently it was some unfortunate circumstances that were completely out of the Yeezy team's hands. But the good thing is that Friday's listening event in Korea is still on go, which will be the official second listening party since Vultures 2 officially hit streaming platforms. Now, prior to the Salt Lake City listening event, they did share this little sketch right here, which apparently comes from Ye, which I guess you could say is some type of design concept for the stage or whatever. And just based off what we saw for the Salt Lake party, it looks like we didn't actually get what kind of came from that sketch, and it seemed like it was more of just a continuation of the set design or stage design that we saw for Vultures 1. But apparently it looks like we have a lot to look forward to. Now, normally I would say just keep your expectations in line for a listening event such as, especially based off the last listening experience, but based off these images which have appeared over the last couple of days as they're gearing up to set up the stage design. This is a big ass stadium, so this is already going to be at maximum capacity. It looks like they have this dirt mound type of stage which is building up, looking very similar to the sketch, so that's really cool. And on top of that, they were doing some light testing as we get a glimpse of what to expect, a little preview of the stage design with the night, the lighting, and everything like that. So I would say keep your expectations, actually forget your expectations. It looks like this show is about to go absolutely crazy, so I'm kind of hoping for the best right here. Hopefully we could potentially get a live stream of the event, but what I'm hoping for is, just like we saw for the last show, maybe they can give us some updates to some of the records. Hopefully we'll get some new merch, and with this show being scheduled for I guess a 8 p.m. 9 p.m. Start time based off of the time change and everything here in the US, and I want to say that the time in Korea is ahead of ours. So based off the fact that the show is scheduled for Friday night, I would say that the live event should actually take place sometime tomorrow morning. So we'll see how everything goes down, but I'm hoping for the best, and it looks like this show may actually blow our expectations out of the water. And for Stockx, one of sneakers' biggest reselling platforms, whether you love them or hate them, you probably either bought or sold a pair of sneakers via this app. So it looks like they have provided some interesting details, or I guess you could say concerning data. So I was thinking, kind of with the narrative being that sneakers are dead right now and that resale is dead and everything like that, while I was caught it cap that sneakers is dead, but as far as resale being dead, I felt like there's definitely an argument there. But apparently, according to the data, it's actually not really the case, but rather that the trends are actually shifting into kind of a new direction. So according to this report from Stockx, it says Nike and Jordan's market share, longtime mainstays in the resale world, have declined on the platform in 2024. So of course, I think we all kind of saw that coming, but it does say the brand with the biggest market share increase actually happens to be Asics and Adidas. So according to Stockx, comparing market share from January to July of 2024 over the same period in 2023, Nike and Jordan declined 11 and 12% respectively. During the same period, market shares of Asics on Stockx has increased 275% and Adidas has climbed 69%. So I think we all kind of saw the writing on the wall, as a lot of these Nike models, let's just keep it a buck, they're not as popular as they once were, and people are starting to gravitate towards other brands. Although I would say it's not the end of Nike completely, this data definitely shows that we're starting to move into a new trend. And while resale numbers doesn't provide the complete demand, again, some sneakers actually manipulate the market with like limited releases, but it definitely does, I would say, gauge demand just based off the fact that, let's just say, like a pair, like a good colorway of the Gel Kayano 14s or like the Gel 1130s, Asics really can't keep them joints on the website, and every time they drop a good colorway, them joints sell out. Actually, pretty much every colorway sells out due to just how popular that model is. Plus, it comes in at a really nice price point. So while I would say Nike's kind of riding the momentum of like being the big dog in the industry, these trends are pointing into a new direction. And just kind of one way to prove that point, let's just take, for example, in my personal life, my daughter, she's in elementary school, and usually we like start off the school year with like 2-3 pairs of sneakers. Usually I'll pick out out like a couple of pairs for her, and then I let her actually pick one of her own, or I like try to convince her into a direction which I feel like she should go in. So last year, or I should say over the last couple of years, she's always picked like a new pair of Jordan 1s, but surprisingly this year, she was like, you know what, Daddy, I don't want a pair of Jordan 1s. Go ahead and get me a pair of Sambas. So we picked up a new pair of Sambas for her actually as one of her sneakers to kick off this year. So that's just a personal example. And with this data right here, it just shows that currently Nike's retro models aren't the most popular, and we're starting to see other offerings from other brands starting to emerge, whether it's Asics, whether it's New Balance, or Adidas, who is dominating right now with their classics. So with this new data, it definitely lends into that narrative that Nike is lacking on their innovation, something that many people have been highly critical of. So how does Nike respond to this? Well, it looks like today they have just announced their latest official collaboration, which it looks like Nike will be teaming up with Lego. So I actually did not see this one coming in the official press release. It looks like Nike says that through a new multi-year partnership, Nike and Lego Group will bring to life the many ways sports and creative play can help all kids be the best versions of themselves. So as far as this collaboration right here, who knows what to expect, as they haven't provided the exact details, but we do definitely know it is a multi-year partnership, which it looks like releases should kick off beginning next year. But I think that this collaboration probably isn't what everybody expects it to be. While I was thinking first we were going to get maybe some Lego themed sneakers, but I'm kind of thinking of it on another end, and this could be more so like maybe Nike dropping some type of like Legos with like, let's say a Lego set where you build like a pair of Nike shoes, or maybe they'll have like Nike themed products like involved with Lego stuff, maybe in their video games, stuff like that. But I really feel like I guess this is cool or whatever, but not a big direct response to their lack of innovation. So we'll see what this whole Lego Nike partnership gives us, but to me, nothing really to be too excited about. So let me know what you guys think down below. And as far as before we get out of here, I did want to mention today's poll of the day, which we had to bring these joints back. So yesterday, what I asked you guys is, so far in 2024, out of the top sneaker brands, which brand do you feel like is having the best year so far? It's that simple. So we have Nike, Jordan Brand, which we had to just combine them all into one. We have Adidas, New Balance, and Asics. Now, I was actually surprised by the information right here. We had 2.6 thousand votes so far, and I was expecting like Nike to most definitely be on top, or maybe Adidas, since this is like a sneaker channel, which kind of like was based off Yeezy releases. But surprisingly, out of all of the data, it looks like New Balance actually came in at number 1 with 35% of the votes. We had Nike Jordan Brand come in at number 2 with 27%. Adidas come in at 3rd place with 25%. And then you got Adidas, you know, the smart people at the bottom at 13%. So shocked to see New Balance, and actually even more surprised to see in the comments with New Balance taking home the 1st place, to see so many negative comments, like people saying these are grandpa shoes, they don't know how people whatever wear New Balances, they don't get the hype and all that good stuff. And bro, like, just open your eyes. New Balance is definitely putting out some of the most trendy models at the moment, and they're killing it with their collaboration. So I think they definitely wanted that number 1 spot. We see Asics doing their thing as well, giving some competition to the big 2 in Nike and Adidas. So let me know what you guys think about these results, and appreciative to everybody that participated in today's poll of the day. So we're going to keep that an ongoing thing here on this channel. So we're going to wrap things up. Let me know what you guys thought about this data, plus drop your feedback on all the topics covered today. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please help support an independent creator by tapping in on that little like button. It's just right below under this video. So I appreciate y'all. I'll be checking in with you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm JA, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Love.